Good evening, everyone. Mike Palmer from Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International with another very important live video update. Tonight is also our last official video update for the year. Depending on what comes across my desk over the course of the next week or so, I might try and squeeze one extra update in at the end of next week. We'll see how we go. Just in case that doesn't happen, though, we do need to get through as much as possible on tonight's video. So let's get straight into it. First up, I want to go through a number of important motoring articles that people really do need to be aware of. People tend to spend more time on the roads, especially over the next few weeks than usual. So there are a couple of things to be aware of. So first and foremost, despite the insane number of fines that have been handed out this year, including all of the new creative ways that they've been coming up to fine people for all sorts of different things that I've covered on a number of recent videos, the road tolls actually continuing to climb in almost all states. In fact, the road toll is so high that there have actually been over 11,000 deaths on our roads in the last decade and over 1,000 deaths just this year alone. So everyone that tells you, oh, these speed cameras save lives and all the rest of it, just direct them to this article. So it says, national road toll exceeds 11,000 in past decade, with New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria recording most deaths in 2024. Australia is on track to record its deadliest year in more than a decade after a number of people who lost their lives on the nation's roads surpassed 1,000. At least 1,063 people have died on Australian roads from January to October, and that doesn't even include November and December being one of the deadliest months of all. So that's just up to October. The worst year-to-date death toll since 2012. West Australia has already recorded its deadliest year-to-date in 9 years with 162 deaths on the state's roads. The figure brings the total number of fatalities in the country's largest state to more than 1,400 over 10 years, with more than half occurring on regional roads. Again, why not open the speed limits up? Raise the speed limits so people don't fall asleep doing 100 k's an hour in the middle of nowhere. Get these autobahns built and open the speed limits up. Stop reducing speed limits so that you can issue more fines. It's not rocket science, people. This year's year-to-date figures show a trend of rising fatalities across the country, with the most populous states most affected. New South Wales, Queensland and Victoria recorded the most year-to-date fatalities, with only Victoria reporting fewer deaths than last year. So far, watch this space. So yeah, I mean, this is really worrying. I mean, those road safety cameras are doing such a splendid job, aren't they? I mean, what a waste of time. Okay, now I've said this, many times before. If you want to learn, some strategies that will truly make our roads safer and, of course, more enjoyable for all motorists, rather than just blatantly fining everybody, across the board for every little trivial thing that you can think of, then please grab a copy of that Aussie Speeding Fines book, and in particular, read Chapter 1. Okay, that's the history of fines and all the things behind them. That's the chapter that has all of those strategies that will genuinely make our roads safer. Now, the Aussie Speeding Fines guys are currently running a 25% off Christmas promotion on all their hard copy memberships. So you'll find a link in the description and the comment section if you want to take advantage of that. Now, of course, the biggest issue with the government actually, instigating some of those changes and bringing in some of these strategies, it would mean that they would, simply not raise anywhere near as much revenue, and that, of course, is the true purpose of all of these so-called road safety strategies. Now, the problem is, especially at this time of year, rather than focusing on these true road safety initiatives, most states are just rolling out yet another revenue-raising blitz, and no surprises, Victoria was one of the first states to kick off their Christmas cash grab when their blitz started last Friday, the 13th of December. So if anyone's in Victoria or planning on coming to Victoria, be aware of this. Victoria Police Operation Roadwise to start. Victoria Police has announced Operation Roadwise will kick off across the state on Friday, December 13th, and will run for an extended 20-day period that will see police highly visible across Victoria's major roads and arterials. The focus of the operation will be on impaired driving over the Christmas period, and police will be conducting widespread drug and alcohol testing every day throughout the operation. Police will also be visible on the state's regional roads and holiday hotspots during the operation, as Boxing Day is one of the busiest days for travel across the state. Police issued over 19,000 traffic infringements during Operation Roadwise last year, 7,631 of which were speeding offences. 7,631 speeding tickets or speeding infringement notices were issued over a 20-day period last year. So, did anybody out there hear anything about the 7,500 accidents that should have occurred? Because, of course, as they keep reminding us, every K over is a killer and speed is the biggest killer on our roads and all the rest of the rubbish that they try and jam down our throats each year just to justify their blatant revenue raising. If speeding was so dangerous and there was 7,500 tickets, why didn't we hear of mass casualties over December last year? Because, as I've said a million times before, speeding has little to nothing to do with actual accidents. Now, of course, the Queensland government, well, they took a leaf out of the Victorian government playbook, and they also started their revenue-raising road blitz last Friday as well. So if you are in Queensland or heading to Queensland, especially the Gold Coast, be aware of this. Police launched Christmas Road Safety Blitz Gold Coast. The Queensland Police Service have launched their summer road safety campaign, Operation Mistletoe, to reduce fatalities this Christmas. To date, in 2024, 289 people have lost their lives on Queensland roads, and more than 6,000 people have been seriously injured or are facing long-term trauma or hardship. The community can expect to see an increased number of police on Queensland roads between December 13th and January 27th, which this year includes covert and overt motorcycles, all fitted with mobile radars. Again, it's all about this speed stuff. Superintendent Brett Jackson said reducing the number of fatalities and injuries on Gold Coast roads is a priority for the service. Tragically, Queensland is on track to have more than 300 lives lost on our roads this year, the highest number of deaths in nearly 2 decades. And still they keep doing the same ridiculous thing, expecting a different result. We want to do everything we can to prevent that number from rising, especially as we approach Christmas holidays when road traffic typically increases. The message to motorists is clear. Your decision on the roads have significant consequences. Operation Mistletoe will see police focus on these bad driver behaviours to make Queensland roads safer this festive season. Gold Coast Police will have dedicated resources out there deterring and detecting speeding offences and ensuring road users are driving to the conditions. Speed, 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 speed. That's all they like to prattle on about. Okay, and it's one of the smallest factors. Anyone who's been to our live events will know that speed is only a factor, not even the factor, just a factor in 5% of accidents. That is it. Okay, so, despite having one of the highest road tolls on record, the Queensland government continued to do more of the same, just simply issuing more speeding fines, under this false and misleading guise of road safety, all while raking in more revenue than ever before. Again, I've said it a million times. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again, expecting a different result. Now, of course, there's other states that are literally doubling down, with their revenue-raising programs this coming Christmas period, with double demerit points being imposed across places like New South Wales and the ACT. So again, if you are in those areas or travelling to those areas, do be aware of this. 13 days of double demerits to close out 2024. We advise motorists that double demerits are in place for 13 consecutive days in New South Wales over the end of year period from Friday 20th of December until the end of Wednesday the 1st of January inclusive. What offences attract double demerits? During double demerit periods, double demerit points apply for speeding, illegal use of mobile phones, not wearing a seatbelt and riding a motorcycle without a helmet. Keep in mind that mobile phone detection cameras are active in New South Wales and the ACT, and drivers caught using their phones during a double demerit point will be hit with a $410 fine and 10 demerit points. So, I mean, this is, just all about the money, all about the money. Now, as if that's not bad enough, if you want to see the clearest example of government hypocrisy that I've seen in a long time, then just try and wrap your head around this concept, okay? In New South Wales, they impose double demerit points on drivers for certain offences. Things like speeding, which, as we've proven time and time again, little to no impact on actual accidents. But then here's the kicker. Because so many drivers in New South Wales are losing their licences because they're going over demerit points, the New South Wales government has then, of course, been losing revenue because people aren't out on the roads driving. So they then turn around and decided to give demerit points back to drivers again the following year. Okay, I mean, you just shake your head in disbelief, but this is what actually goes on in New South Wales. Drivers across New South Wales set to have demerit points removed with good behaviour. Almost 1.1 million drivers across New South Wales are set to have a demerit point removed from their licence in the next 5 weeks as part of the state government's ongoing road safety initiative to reward safe drivers. Now remember, it's to reward safe drivers. I'll come back to that in a moment. Launched by the Minns government in response to a troubling road toll, what they actually mean is the falling revenue. The trial program rewards good driving behaviour by wiping 1 demerit point from drivers who remain offence-free for 12 months. This scheme aims to encourage safer driving habits, particularly during the busy Christmas and New Year period when the roads see significant increase in traffic. In New South Wales, drivers on their full licences can accumulate up to 13 demerit points before facing the risk of having their unrestricted licence cancelled. So they've already upped it, because most other states it's only 12, so they've already upped it by 13, and now they're going to give you an extra one because so many people in New South Wales are copping these ridiculous fines and losing their points. Roads Minister John Graham emphasised that even a single demerit point could be the deciding factor in whether someone can continue to drive. For people who drive for a living, the reward for safe driving could be the difference between keeping their job or losing their livelihood, Mr Graham said. The broader effect is that the safety on our roads is improved when people make the right decisions, like sticking to speed limits and following the rules. What a load of crap. Okay? Now, just in case you missed it, okay, this is supposed to be a reward for safe drivers, okay, being those who haven't incurred a demerit point in the past 12 months. So if they haven't got a demerit point in the last 12 months, why do they need one back? Okay, if they're such safe drivers, they shouldn't be worried about demerit points. So it's irrelevant to the ones they call safe drivers. The ones who really need the extra point are those who are at risk of losing their licence, which according to the government, by definition, must be the unsafe drivers, and they're the ones they're giving the points back to. I mean, the hypocrisy is just mind-blowing. And the fact that the people haven't been up in arms about this in New South Wales is just, beggars belief. I mean, it is just, as I said, if that's not the clearest case of government hypocrisy you've ever seen, I don't know what is. So, again, please do not buy into all of the government, police, and all the media propaganda, okay? Grab that Aussie Speeding Fines book, okay? And first and foremost, learn the strategies that will genuinely make our roads safer. And secondly, learn how we can quickly force the government to implement those strategies when we all start challenging our fines using that, tried and tested 3-step process from chapter 3 of that book. Again, you'll find a link in the description, and again, they do have that 25% off Christmas promotion. And if you get your order in tonight, it'll be sent out first thing tomorrow, so you should get it in time for Christmas as well. And again, you can use that book to fight any kind of unjust and unlawful fines moving forwards. All right, so moving on, those of you who are regular viewers of these video updates will remember that I covered a whole heap of really positive stories on the last video update that I did last week. And of course, being less than 1 week to Christmas, I did want to finish off tonight's video with some more positive, heartwarming stories for everybody to finish off the year. So the first is actually an article that details how Qantas has been forced to pay $120 million to staff who were illegally sacked during COVID. So this is absolutely fantastic. If you've missed this story, make sure you go and look it up. Qantas agrees to pay $120 million compensation to illegally outsourced workers. Qantas has agreed to pay the $120 million in compensation proposed by the Transport Workers Union to former ground handlers who were illegally sacked by the airline in 2020. The carrier and the TWU have agreed to set up a compensation fund in 2025 to be administered by the Morris Blackburn law firm for payments to be sent to 1,820 impacted former employees who were outsourced by Qantas. Vanessa Hudson, the Qantas Group CEO, apologised in a statement to former employees and their families who were impacted by the outsourcing decision. We know this has been a difficult period for those affected and are pleased that we've been able to work closely with the TWU to expedite this process and resolve it ahead of Christmas. TWU said in a statement that the payouts would compensate workers for economic loss as well as hurt and suffering. The agreement came after a 4-year legal battle in the federal court, which found this year that Qantas had illegally outsourced the workers' jobs. TWU has described the illegal outsourcing, which happened while Alan Joyce was airline CEO, as the largest case of illegal sackings in Australian history. Soon, these brave men and women will receive long-awaited compensation in accordance with the principles set out in the court's decision, the TWU's National Secretary said in a statement. So, very, very positive news. And look, the only thing that could make that story any better would be if the stupid little leprechaun that caused all those problems in the first place was forced to pay that out of his own pocket. But sadly, that's not going to happen. Now, look, I've actually bumped into a lot of people over the past few years who've told me that these video updates have in various ways, given them the courage to stand their ground, refuse to take the jabs to keep their jobs. Some others have just waited it out and held the line. Others have even changed careers to avoid getting the jab. So it's really great to know that I was able to be, a small part of that for so many people. And it is really great to see that those Qantas employees are finally going to see justice done. All right, and then the final heartwarming story that I want to share tonight is in regards to more pain and devastation, more pain and suffering for Daniel Andrews as a second 000 call has now come to light. So those of you who are interested in following the demise of Dictator Dan, I urge you to have a look at this story. It hasn't been widely promoted. I wonder why. And this is what it says. Listen to the other 000 call made after Dan Andrews' crash with 15-year-old cyclists. Someone's been run over. A second bombshell 000 call about a crash involving Daniel Andrews and 15-year-old Ryan Muehlman reporting the teenager had been run over has emerged, casting doubt on the former Victorian Premier's version of events. In his police statement after the crash and subsequent press conferences, Mr. Andrews has always maintained that Ryan T-boned his car in the Victorian Mornington Peninsula town of Blairgowrie on Ridley Street on January 7, 2013. Martha, who lived at 10 Ridley Street, just across from the accident, made the first 000 call received about the crash, despite Mr. Andrews previously claiming he made his call immediately. Someone's been run over. Someone on a bike, a worried Martha told the emergency operator. After inspecting the scene more closely, she said, it looks like the car hit the boy on the bike. And it goes on, and there's a full transcript and everything of the call. So things are definitely heating up for Dan and Kath Andrews, which is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully they will be stressing and worrying and all the rest of it over the Christmas New Year period and getting just a little taste of what they subjected us to for all of those years during COVID. So please, let's keep the pressure on. Let's keep supporting the Muehlmans in their fight for justice, and let us all hope that 2025 is the year that Daniel Andrews is finally held to some kind of account for his behaviour and actions over the past few years. As always, you can follow the story and indeed help support the Mulemans by simply looking up the Bike Boy scandal. So just type that into Google or DuckDuckGo, whatever your preferred search engine is, the Bike Boy scandal, and you'll find a whole list of entries. They're on a large number of social media platforms, and you can join that cause there. Now, speaking of social media platforms and 2025, I did explain to everybody on Tuesday night's radio show, which was, of course, our final live radio show for the year, that we will be doing some more work, more updates, more redesigns of our website over the coming holiday period, as well as increasing our presence on various social media platforms, things like Instagram and TikTok. So if you're on any of those platforms, do keep an eye out for those. And as always, please do be sure to share any of our posts or these video updates or articles, anything like that, as far and as wide as you can. And let's really help get this message out over this Christmas period so people can really, get started with 2025, reclaiming their rights. And in case you did miss Tuesday night's radio show, the podcast has, of course, been uploaded now. But we did also announce that we will keep the format of the fortnightly radio shows next year. And we will, of course, be continuing with these weekly live video updates on a Thursday night. We are also planning one live event and one boot camp event for both Melbourne and Queensland. And as soon as those dates are locked in, we will let everybody know. So again, stay tuned in for that. We are also planning on 6 full day webinars, which will just cover 1 or 2 key topics for the whole day. So it'll be a lot more detailed information. Again, a lot more time for questions, because that's something we always get asked for. And again, we do hope to announce all of those dates when we return for our first radio show for 2025, which will be on the 21st of January next year. And just so everyone's aware, I'm also going to start focusing a lot more on my success coaching clients next year. So if you do want to truly kickstart 2025, get on top of and overcome any financial, health or relationship challenges that you might be facing, and if you are looking for some one-on-one coaching to help with that, please make sure you check out my success coaching website. Again, you should find a link going up in the comments. Otherwise, just type into Google, DuckDuckGo, Success Coaching International. You'll find that website there. Or of course, you can just send me an email directly, just mike@successcoaching.net.au, and that'll come through, and happy to work something out so that we can really get started and make 2025 your best year ever. Now, on that same radio show, we did also announce that we have decided to extend our 25% off Christmas promotion until midnight on Christmas Eve. We don't want anyone to miss out if people are serious about learning about their rights. So if you do want to do that during the upcoming Christmas break and really dive right into some more of our information, especially some of our newer products like that affidavit and submission CDs with all of those sample affidavits and submissions, or of course the new court success pack, which is the affidavits and all the commission reports and the FOI responses that you can put together into some really, really powerful documents. So all of those are available. You'll find links again in the comments. You'll find them on our products page as well. And again, if you get any orders in tonight, they will still get to you in time for Christmas. So again, jump on the products page and you just click the products tab. You'll see everything there, all the details there, how to take advantage of that. Don't forget that promotion does also extend to our Know Your Rights book as well. Of course, the essential step-by-step manual for understanding and exercising your rights. It does also extend to things like the home study course. Okay, now again, as you can see, these are brimming with information. We've got the 3 custom-made workbooks, the 17 DVDs. There's plenty of information there on a wide range of topics. So do make sure you grab your home study course. And again, of course, the coming Christmas period is the perfect time to really sit down and start watching the particular videos that are of most interest to you. Now, of course, we do also have some of our special packs that are already discounted. This is our Ultimate Platinum Pack. As you can see here, it is literally bursting out of the box. I won't open it fully because everything's going to fall out. But basically, every single physical product that we have is in that pack with all the books, CDs, DVDs, everything you could want to know. So if you really want to make 2025 your best year cover, where you really do reclaim your rights. Have a look at some of those special packs. Take advantage of that 25% off Christmas discount, and use this coming break, use that time to really start getting your head around some of those important points. All right, and to finish off, as always, I'm going to go through some of the latest memes just to keep people thinking about what's going on at the moment. So we've heard a lot this year about, misinformation, and obviously very exciting that the misinformation and disinformation bill was defeated this year. But as it says there, they call it misinformation. We call it the information they want you to miss. This, of course, is the stuff they don't want people to know. Now, this is a good reminder. There's, nothing happened this year, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to try something on again next year. And this is a key point for people to remember. Okay, this wasn't a pandemic. It was purely a test to see who, how many, and for how long people would obey. Now they have that data. What they're going to do with that data is, of course, the big question. And if you want to ensure that they do little to nothing with it, then I urge you to take on board this concept. Okay, as it says there very clearly, the best way to stop the next pandemic, okay, is to arrest those who started the first. Okay, very simple, very straightforward, but that's what we need to be pushing for. And speaking of pandemics and getting into the Christmas spirit, this one's been doing the rounds. It's the special Christmas tree for the unvaccinated. No needles, just balls. So, yes, a good fun Christmas one there. And just to finish off, as a little bit of a laugh, I'm sure some of you will be able to relate to this one. It says there, during the COVID lockdown, if you had family around on Christmas Day, police could force entry to your home and make them go away. Does anyone know if this service is still available and if you have to book? So on that note, I would like to finish off by wishing you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy and prosperous 2025 to follow. I look forward to being of continuing service to everyone who is interested in learning more about their rights and, of course, how to stand up for them in 2025. I am planning on doing our first live video update for next year on the 9th of January. Obviously, if anything important comes up before then, I will let everybody know. So, as always, do keep an eye on our social media platforms and also your emails. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for our email updates yet, you can just go to any of our web pages, just go down to the bottom right, you'll find a little form, just your first name and your email, that's all you need. And as any updates come to hand, we will send out those emails so you can be on top of and aware of anything that's happening. So I am going to leave things there for tonight and indeed for this year. As always, I do urge you to make use of all of the various resources that are available to you to please get informed, get fired up, and get proactive. Let's roll that over into 2025. Let's keep fighting back and let's take the power back next year. As always, these videos are completely free to watch. You'll find them on the videos tab on our Facebook page, on our BitChute channel, and of course on our YouTube channel. As you're speaking to people over Christmas, as you have Christmas breakup parties and family barbecues and all the rest of it, please do be sure to let people know about our website and share that information around. If people are interested in finding out more about our rights, do direct them, of course, to our Know Your Rights book. Don't forget, of course, that Aussie Speeding Fines book for challenging all unjust and unlawful fines. Of course, we know a lot of people are genuinely struggling financially, so be sure to have a look at that Bank Secrets Revealed book as well, and that tried, tested, proven 4-step process for discharging or eliminating any unsecured debts. That's your personal loans, your credit cards. Let's get rid of those for you in 2025. You can get these individually. There's links in the description. You can get them as part of the combo pack. We do have the tote bag that we include as a little bonus. Everyone likes a freebie, likes a bonus, so we'll pop those in as well. And of course, finally, the warm weather is definitely here, so do be sure to protect your heads this summer. Grab one of our Know Your Rights caps. People see the logo, great conversation starter and a great way to meet like-minded people, especially when everyone's out and about over the summer period. And again, the discount applies to all that stuff as well. So that is it for me for tonight and indeed for the year. Take care, everybody, and I will speak to you all again in early January.